Hey guys, Nate Hale here from the Rapscallion Brigade. I am the VR addict, and I thoroughly enjoy doing the VR reviews and things. But sometimes I step away from the VR and play some flat gaming, as we call it. And I don't know if you guys are like this, but I get in the mood to play different styles of games. And it may be the ADD, but I don't stick to one genre for very long. I kind of bounce back and forth, and really it kind of coincides with things that are going on. So, like at the start of football season, I usually fire up the football games, and I'll play through some seasons of NCAA football, and every now and then I'll load up Madden. I don't really like Madden as much. Honestly, I'm still playing ESPN 2K5. I just love that everything about that game, and it really hurts my heart that EA bought the rights to NFL and kind of killed off the ESPN 2K games. But that's a whole other topic for another video. But what uh, what I was thinking about was, certain things happen and it causes me to be in the mood to play a certain type of game, whether it's racing, football, whatever. The other night I watched the replay. I didn't get the pay-per-view, but I watched a replay of the McGregor Mayweather fight. And for whatever reason, after that, I was just in the mood for a boxing game. And I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to go back through a fight night game on like the 360 or even the original Xbox. So I went and dug up my PSP, and as you probably saw at the beginning of this video, I'm actually playing this game on the emulator on the PC, the PPSSPP. But what I did, I loaded this game up on my PSP. And of course, my PSP is modded, so all of my games I've ripped over and put them on the memory stick so that I don't have to put the UMDs in there and hear that whining of that disc spinning. But one of the awesome things about that is that you can configure the emulator to look at the folders on the PSP, and you can play the game on the PSP, save it, then you can hook your PSP to your computer, and it has the same save file and plays the game right off the PSP, and it's almost like having a Switch. So that's what I've done here with the Fight Night Round 3 on the PSP. But like I said, I was just in the mood for some boxing games, and I loaded this up, and I've been basically switching back and forth between my PC hooked up to an HD TV, and then when I take it with me, I just unhook my PSP and play it on the PSP. I don't know about y'all, but I still love the PSP, and I think there's a lot of cool games on it. Every time I play it, I wish it had 2 more triggers and another joystick and better joysticks. But for whatever reason, I suffer through the horrible stick on it, and my hands are so big. I usually get cramped up every time I play it, but I still play it. I still fight through that. I don't I don't know why. But like I was saying, I get in different moods to play different styles of games. At the beginning of football season, I'll load up NCAA and I'll play through usually 4 or 5 seasons on the franchise, or on the season mode on that, and I'll eventually burn out on that and get interested in something else. Of course, I've been going back to VR a lot. Sometimes you just have to play some stuff that's out of the headset, kind of take a break, give your eyes a break from VR. When you're playing VR, that screen is so close. It's really, sometimes it's hard to stay inside the headset for hours on hours. So there's some days I don't even get into it. I'll play, like I said, I'll play the PSP. Or it's sad. I go back to this. I've got a Switch, and there's some awesome games on there, but for whatever reason, I go back to the retro stuff. if anybody's interested in how to configure your emulator to look at the PSP so that you can essentially switch back and forth from one to the other, I'll be glad to tell you how to do that. Just comment in the comment section and let me know, and I'll show you some instructions, show you how to do that. It's not hard at all. It's just a file that you have to modify to get it to save the games and look at the game saves on your PSP instead of in the original emulator folder. This is one of the things that I love about the PSP emulator is you can change the settings where you can play these PSP games in up to 4K or higher resolutions if you have a computer capable of it. And now the graphics, the textures and the character models don't change, but everything is so smooth and crisp. And for this footage here, I actually have the scan lines on, which I like the way the scan lines look too. I wish they would make some newer versions of Fight Night, and there may be. I just haven't heard about it or read about it. But I like this series. I like the Ready to Rumble games too. They're obviously a lot more arcadey, but they're actually some really good boxing games. This guy ain't got what it takes. You could probably tell that. For whatever reason, though, when you're about to knock them out, their defense, man, it just goes crazy. Like, you can't hit them. Once it goes into that little slow mo, and you're about to knock them down, they block every punch. It's so frustrating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Crusher's taking that punch pretty well. Gets him off guard and connects. He's bloodied up. That's one thing about the PSP. Playing the PSP on the PC with an Xbox 360 controller is so much better. You have the actual joystick, and the controls are so much better. You can map everything exactly how you want it. It's way more comfortable. I was talking about my hands cramping up when I play the PSP, but it's so much better on the PC. And you don't have to pirate the games. You can take your actual UMDs, stick them in your modded PSP, and then rip them over to the PC so you can play them on the emulator or the PSP. I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this, and we'll catch you with another video pretty soon.